So the hat is bearded now. Only took an hour more of braiding, plus adjusting the orange through here to be a little tighter up in there. And then of course all the way down through the braid. I figured out why it was too pointy. So it turns out this one involved, let's see if I can do a quarter cross section here. Yeah, this one involved, there's no good way to do this. Basically, around here, this one starts decreasing, and it did more increases at the bottom. So around here, if you see the knitting needle, is where I went wrong. And instead of decreasing 8 every 2 rounds, I only decreased 4 every 2 rounds, and thus ended up with this pointy section which no amount of extra fast decreases was going to fix. Oh well. But I do plan to unravel and redo it, which sucks because I already wove in the ends. Frustrating. Anyway, so I really enjoyed the song Diggy Diggy Hole. Anyway, and generally appreciate dwarves. I might have started because I'm short and like making things, and Tolkien's dwarves at least also really like making things, although that's in a more permanent form. I was wearing it inside out. Ugh, embarrassing. Right, so there's the outside of the beard, although it's woven, so it really only makes a difference here at the ear flaps, where on the outside the hat tucks over it nicely, and on the inside you have all the Works head knots. Anyway, so I'm supposed to be digging my way out of a hole of unfinished projects. The problem is I keep coming up with more ideas I want to try. For one thing, this hat is for a friend, and my 5-year-old tried it on last night and absolutely loves it, so now he wants one like it. For another thing, when I was looking up horned hats, or horned helms, and the form, and etc., and I've pretty much decided that I'm going with sheep's horns, even though cow-type horns are more typical for these sorts of depictions. I'm going with ram's horns. Yeah, it's going to be exciting and fun and spirally. I doodled some things on the back of her seat for trying to figure out how to get a 3-dimensional spiral, and I still want to look up whether the cross-section is circular or concave on one side. I think it may be concave on one side. Sort of a C with a kind of like a crescent, only not quite a crescent. Anyway, so yeah, lots of interesting stuff there, and then came across this flappy bird helm where there's an entire bird standing on, well, metal bird on top of the helm, and the wings are articulated so they flap as the wearer moves, and I can't decide whether that's more hilarious or epic, and it's kind of both. It can be both. Anyway, so now I want to see if anyone has a pattern for a crocheted or knit Canada Goose figure that could be added to a hat. I want to do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm finishing this first, and the one for my son's second. And then there's a bunch of mending that needs to be done, and a couple shirts I still haven't finished for myself. In the quest to add more color, I'm borrowing a cloak, but it seemed appropriate for singing the dwarf song. Anyway, make interesting, funny, beautiful things, and embrace the fuzzy doom.